Now, since World War II and the success of Steve Rogers, there have been many failed attempts to create a super soldier. But after some ungainly setbacks, we're close. Close to creating the most powerful man on Earth. Now, this is the particle infusion chamber. An apparatus that can force human cells to take on the properties of a raw material. Imagine a man with the density of lead or the volatility of cesium. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Can someone name another substance suitable for infusion? Yes, Mr. von Strücker.
Why not use Red Skull's Tesseract? It's the greatest power source we've ever had.
It's over. Fury has released everything to the public.
Everything he knows about.
Yes, Strücker, if they get word of our work here, if they find out we serve Hydra.
Hydra. S.H.I.E.L.D. Two sides of a coin that's no longer currency. What we have is worth more than any of them ever knew. We've only scratched the surface end already.
For our notes, Ms. Maximoff, can you please state your name and confirm your status?
Wanda Maximoff. Volunteer.
Begin experimentation.
There are other facilities doing Hydra's good work around the world. We'll feed them to Captain America and his colorful friends. Keep them off our scent.
Does May still think you're on a recruiting trip to London?
She does, which is why I don't have a lot of time here.
Okay, well, sir, first you are going to need...
A lanyard. Yes, I do.
Blue and gray, subtle, masculine, gels nicely with the new triangular design.
What are we calling this, anyway?
The Theta Protocol, sir.
Theta Protocol. I need you to write that down for me. I want you and Billy to immediately return to HQ. If things go radically south here, I'll need you to implement the Theta Protocol.
Sir.
That's an order, Agent Kenny.
Thank you, Mr. Bloom, for hosting. I regret that our biannual gathering has turned into a vigil.
Daniel Whitehall has joined our founder in the afterlife.
How unfortunate. I admired the man's commitment.
I was never fond of him.
We must not speak ill of the dead.
Why? What's he going to do about it?
What this means is that there is a vacancy at a management position in this region of the world.
And who would you like to see fill it, Dr. List?
Baron von Strücker thought that Sunil Bakshi was well groomed to serve in that capacity, so why is he not present?
He's disappeared. We think he may have been captured by S.H.I.E.L.D.
Then in all likelihood, he's dead too, if he did his duty.
You underestimate S.H.I.E.L.D. Constantly, it would seem. Von Strücker would like this mistake to stop happening. So I'm going to make it simple. S.H.I.E.L.D. will take this victory as a chance to move against us.
Come above ground.
Whomever can remove S.H.I.E.L.D. from the landscape permanently will win Whitehall's position. Does that sound fair? Meanwhile, I intend to find out if Whitehall's obsession with arcane artifacts was fruitless, or if, indeed, it did produce something that we, at Hydra, can use for our future.
A power play. The rest are moving against us, Dr. List. Gave the order to wipe us out.
Von Strücker and I are not involved, I can assure you.
We're calling because you may be a target.
You think it's the Baroness?
And the banker. And the Sheik.
We can't have infighting at a time of transition.
We agree, and we promise to smooth this over as best as we can.
We count on it.
I'll send word.
Perhaps you can fill in a few of the blanks, specifically about powered people. What about Project Deathlock? How long has Coulson been running Mike Peterson?
Their contact has been minimal. He wasn't an active asset.
Seems pretty active to me. Do you expect us to believe he's not part of Theta Protocol? You can at least tell us what you do know about it.
Coulson doesn't bore me with the details of every little operation.
May, we know this is massive. We have evidence that Coulson has quietly been moving alarming amounts of resources and manpower all over the globe.
The only thing we found linking all these activities is a code name, Theta Protocol. There's no more details he shared with you.
Any director of S.H.I.E.L.D. has secrets.
We're not talking a few black bag operations.
Take your entire current budget and match it with this one program.
That's why we want to open Fury's toolbox. For answers.
I'm sure there's a simple one.
Agent Peterson has been doing some overseas work for me. Remember List?
The Hydra head we didn't cut off.
Mike's been trailing him for the past 6 months. Tell him what you found.
Last week, I intercepted a coded transmission from List, mentioning his interest in powered people.
Yeah, they seem to be trending these days.
He's hunting them down and experimenting on them.
Strücker, he'll make time for you.
Do we have any leads?
No, but Hydra might. Hydra's new heads, Strücker and List. My sources say they're researching powered people. Apparently, they're even more obsessed than Whitehall.
We need to know what they know. Get into Hydra.
What about the volunteers?
The dead will be buried so deep their own ghosts won't be able to find them.
And the survivors?
The twins. Sooner or later, they will meet the twins.
Saw the look on your face when we mentioned Mike Peterson. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Coulson didn't just keep the specifics of Theta protocol from you. I get the feeling that until we said it, you'd never heard it before. That gut punch that you felt today, that's how we felt for months. I swore to build S.H.I.E.L.D. back up the right way. And I don't think Coulson's a bad guy. But a secret as big as Theta protocol, I can't ignore that. Whatever he's doing, it needs to be out in the light of day.
Ethan Johnston, 26, potential enhanced. Died of cardiogenic shock in the 37th hour of experimentation.
Still no quantum signature.
No, Dr. List.
That's a waste. Take the cadaver to the lab. Compare him to the other samples. Hail Hydra.
Were you aware that you've been working on Deathlock technology?
Oh, no, you're mistaken. That's a design for a hybrid capacitor.
No, it's Deathlock's supercharged battery pack. And that may not be the only thing he kept from us. Did Coulson ever talk to you about a project named Theta Protocol?
May, I have no idea what that is. Is that why they took Coulson down? Then what can I do?
We need to find out if they're telling the truth. I've been through a lot with Coulson. He doesn't go off the reservation without a good reason.
We are online.
It's good to see you alive and well, Mr. Bakshi.
Dr. List, a pleasure. You're a difficult man to find these days.
Please. Our world is much more complicated now, after the tragic death of Dr. Whitehall and the ensuing bloodbath that it caused. Thank you. Tell me, Mr. Bakshi, exactly how did you manage to escape unscathed?
What are you implying, Doctor?
Well, most of Hydra's leaders were wiped out in one fell swoop. But not you. I was just curious if you might know anyone involved.
Let's see how Bakshi holds up under questioning.
He's held up to worse than this.
You think I poisoned the Baroness? Killed Bloom?
Someone put a bullet in his head.
I assumed it was you. Or Strücker. You had the most to gain, and look, here you sit, alive and well, with more money and manpower than ever.
See? Told you it was good.
The truth is, I didn't escape unscathed. I was captured by the US government. Mr. Peterson helped me escape. You do recognize him, don't you? Oh, you should. Hydra invested quite a bit of funds, turning Mr. Peterson into the perfect killing machine. And money well spent, I might add.
What's he doing?
He's gaining less trust.
I know Strücker has been experimenting on powered individuals. I believe that with a compliance upgrade, Mr. Peterson would prove quite useful to him.
You're offering him? To me?
Consider it a sign of good faith.
This wasn't the plan. What are you doing?
Getting us to Strücker.
Bastard sold us out.
Put the gun down now.
Only way.
Now,
Just listen to me again.
Do you want to get to Strücker?
Fitzy, you're right.
Delightful. Strücker wants powered people. Boxy alone doesn't get you to him. Deathlock does.
Doctor, there's been another incident.
Excuse me. We're close. Put us in the air. And then we'll see quite how loyal you and your enhanced friend really are.
They're taking off. Now, Strücker's overseas. I'd say that's probably where they're going.
And we tail them.
We're landing. Already? I thought Strücker was in Eastern Europe.
He is. But first, we're making a stop. Have you heard of quantum entanglement, Mr. Bakshi?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, we at Hydra over the last several months, actually.
Quantum entanglement? Sounds like a method of torture.
We have found incidents of photon intensity so great that particles can exist simultaneously in two spaces over great distances.
Never liked science. All big words.
But for something to be in two places concurrently...
No. This is a quantum entanglement bridge. We think it was created by a powered person, one we intend to capture.
The teleporter. They're tracking the teleporter. The one that took Cal in Wisconsin and Rena in Sky.
If we keep digging, I'm afraid of what we're going to find.
Coulson's reported trips. Cross-referenced it with Bobby's intel. Most recovers. If he said London, he was meeting in Milan. Or Belgrade, Cairo. Buying God knows what.
My findings aren't much better. Evidence of construction. I can't even count the shell companies. Coulson's burning through money. Bobby wasn't lying, May. It's a whole other life.
What's Coulson even need with 100 bunk beds?
We think he's building another base for powered people.
Guys, we might have a problem. Didn't you say this was some old warehouse? It's not! You son of a bitch!
In my opinion, Coulson's determined to explore people with powers. He's been on the front lines of it his whole career. Avengers Initiative, S.H.I.E.L.D, and everything he's done since restarting S.H.I.E.L.D. tells me he's continuing that work.
He wouldn't. Why blow up the alien city?
But why go there at all? We could debate all day, but if you're planning on training super-powered people, you're gonna need a lot of bunks. And scientists and money.
Simmons, I need you to get me into Fury's toolbox.
Coulson could have good reason for keeping this quiet.
Open the box. Best intentions aside, underestimating powers is playing with fire.
Thank you, Doctor. Hail Hydra. Well, Strücker's most pleased with our progress. And he's very anxious to see the subjects with his own eyes.
They are an interesting contrast, these two. This one, the one they call Deathlock, his modifications are mechanical, bestowed by science, by man.
And the other?
His oddities are intrinsic, somehow bestowed upon him by nature.
Yes, but knowing the difference is not the same thing as recreating it. And to that end, I hope...
To isolate the genetic component, yes. A comparison between the two could be invaluable. Dr. Whitehall believed discovery requires experimentation.
I do miss him.
As do I. But the world moves on, and we form new allegiances.
I'm very glad to hear that. Especially as we proceed with the experimentation.
Since when did you become a high-ranking member of Team Gonzalez?
Someone had to run the base while you were gone. Having a seat allowed me to keep you safe.
I was fine on my own.
Seems that's how you operate best.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
That you've been lying to me ever since S.H.I.E.L.D. fell. All those overseas trips you were taking, they were never about recruiting new agents, were they? You want to tell me what Theta protocol is?
No.
Because you don't trust me.
Because you're not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Neither are you. Not anymore.
I doubt they'll survive.
It's a crushing disappointment, really. No one has made it past this stage of our experiments with alien enhancement. Well, no one other than the twins, of course. And Strücker has them in Sokovia.
It's not a world of spies anymore, not even a world of heroes. This is the age of miracles, Doctor. There's nothing more horrifying than a miracle.
Oh, it would be so nice if they were not our only viable subjects. Well, perhaps he will prove the answer is due in surgery about now.
Dr. Liss, a cloaked plane is on approach.
Cloaked? How can you see it?
Is the barren location we see a blip, even a cloaked one?
It must be S.H.I.E.L.D.
Shoot them out of the sky.
Yes, sir. Dr. Liss, get me out of here!
Hey, need to move.
Just 1 minute.
Come on, Phil, this wasn't the plan. Or was it? Either come with me now, or you're next.
Okay, after you.
Sir, the attack team's on their way back. They report the entire Hydra base has been destroyed.
Good.
There was no sign of this Dr. List. He may have escaped. Sir? Are you okay?
She's still dangerous,
We're all dangerous.
but it's okay. She's in our custody, and we got what we wanted.
What we wanted?
Enhanced people here on the base.
That's why you were willing to go along with Coulson's plan. You wanted the enhanced people he'd rescue.
I didn't expect S.H.I.E.L.D, but we have her and one of her friends. Maybe we can learn how many are out there.
You're gonna hold S.H.I.E.L.D. here.
Of course I am.
Okay, I think that we need to discuss this.
Discuss what? What are we discussing now?
Time to honor our agreement.
There you go. Unlocked and all yours. Go nuts. At least until Fury shows up and asks for it back. Oh, spoiler alert. Oh, hey, I have to take this.
Hi. Can you hang on a second?
I bet Gonzalez wasn't happy when you said he wasn't invited to this chat.
Yeah, well, I wasn't too happy when he blew a hole in my base and kicked me out. We all live with disappointment. And right now, we have bigger problems.
Does that mean you found it?
I'm guessing Hydra doesn't know Loki's scepter was the weapon that killed me, but I bet they know it can control minds.
In their hands, that's catastrophic. Coulson, please tell me you know where it is.
Sokovia. I'm pretty sure List is headed there right now. I just sent you everything I found on Strücker's location.
Last thing. Theta protocol. Is it ready?
Yes, it is. Time to bring in the Avengers.
Jarvis, what's the view from upstairs?
The central building is protected by some kind of energy shield. Strücker's technology is well beyond any other Hydra base we've taken.
Loki's scepter must be here. Strücker couldn't mount this defense without it. At long last.
Who gave the order to attack? Strücker is the Avengers.
They landed in the far woods. The perimeter guard panicked.
They have to be after the scepter.
Can we hold them? The Avengers.
Deploy the rest of the tanks. Yes, concentrate fire on the weak ones. A hit, we make them close ranks. Everything we've accomplished.
But we're on the verge of our greatest breakthrough.
Then let's show them what we've accomplished. Send out the twins.
It's too soon.
It's what they signed up for.
My men can hold them.
The Americans sent their circus freaks to test us. We will send them back in bags. No surrender! No surrender!
I'm going to surrender. You delete everything. If we give the Avengers the weapons, they may not look too far into what we've been.
Twins.
They're not ready to take on.
No, I mean...
Twins.
Guys, stop. We gotta talk this through. It's good talk.
No, it wasn't.
Baron Strücker, Hydra's #1 thug.
Technically, I'm a thug for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, then technically you're unemployed. Where's Loki's scepter?
Don't worry, I know when I'm beat. You'll mention how I cooperated, I hope.
I'll put it right under illegal human experimentation. How many are there? We have a second enhanced. Female. Do not engage.
You'll have to be faster than that.
He's all over the globe. Robotics labs, weapons facilities, jet propulsion labs. Reports of a metal man or men coming in and emptying the place.
Fatalities?
Only when engaged. Most of the guys left in a fugue state, going on about old memories, worst fears, and something too fast to see.
Maximovs. Well, that makes sense he'd go to them. They have someone in common.
Not anymore.
Do you even know who the hell I am? Do you?
You're Werner von Strücker. Your father was Baron Wolfgang von Strücker, one of Hydra's greatest leaders.
Well, my father would have you
Your father kept you in the dark and then died a meaningless death,
Leaving you to hide your face with no answers. Hydra's fractured. In pieces. We're gonna rebuild it. The right way. By force.
My father so rarely let me see any of his world.
It's your world now.
Mr. Coulson introduced me to these fine gentlemen here, the representatives of Hydra. They're not what they were. They're doing some interesting work.
What are we calling this anyway?
The Theta Protocol, sir.
Theta Protocol. I need you to write that down for me.
I gotta tell you, it's not easy keeping something as big as a helicarrier a secret.
Nice, right? Pulled her out of mothballs with a couple of old friends.
If you launch those helicarriers today, Hydra will be able to kill anyone that stands in their way.
I'm not gonna launch those ships. Captain's orders.
Move away from your station.
Like he said. Captain's orders.
Lifeboat secure to deploy. Disengage in 3, 2. Take them out. This is S.H.I.E.L.D.?
This is what S.H.I.E.L.D's supposed to be.
This is not so bad.
Cleanup crews are hard at work in Sokovia as nations throughout the region respond quickly.
Cards on the table.
Obviously, you and Fury have been keeping busy.
What can I say? I'm a company man. With the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., Fury felt we needed a failsafe. Something completely off the books. A break in case of emergency type of thing.
Seems like you broke it wide open.
And saved the day in the process.
It's hard to argue with a man who prevented Ultron from killing thousands of people. But there are plenty more battles to be won. And one closer to home that I fear the helicarrier won't solve.